not others. So, I mean, like you say, it's a notebook. So, the specific question would have to be answered by reviewing the actual new updated muni code.
Yes, ma'am.
So where do we get it?
Yeah, you'll have to come to the podium, I'm sorry, or to the microphone. If you would, just...
My question would be, where would we get a copy?
What's your name, ma'am? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm Dr. Carolyn Bailey.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you.
And my question would be, where could we get a copy of the ordinances? And the reason why I'm asking is that I live on Silas Drive, and you know they put that new apartment there.
Yes, ma'am.
So for some reason, and I don't understand why it was approved, they claim that they don't have a place to put furniture and things like that when they have move-outs, and they are putting it on the street. And I've been complaining about it because we have the park directly across.
Yes, ma'am.
It's directly from the school. The younger kids come out and they play with that junk and stuff like that. And this was even before the storm.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to see if the
Yeah,
ordinances cover this, because this is a hazard. And frankly, we have enough ghettos here without trying to start another one.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. And that doesn't really relate to this particular ordinance, but we can direct you to the ordinance where to go. You can go look. They're on the city website. Have you been on the city website?
Not recently.
Okay. There are links on there to the ordinances. But if you aren't able to locate them, you can contact, because you're actually in my district, you can contact me and I'll get you a copy and provide to you, or Mr. Gill as well as city clerk.
All right, that's fine. I've spoken to Mr. Lee
Okay.
about this, and he said that they were supposed to pick it up on Monday.
Okay.
But currently that stuff been out there almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think maybe the storm had a lot to do with that.
No, this was before the storm.
Okay. All right, yeah, and you can get it with me offline as well, and I'll be glad to help you. All right, thank you so much. All right, any more comments? Public hearing for ordinance 1514? All right, we're going to close the public hearing portion. It's time to see what the pleasure of the council is. All right, we have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor of ordinance 1514? Aye. Opposed, like sign? All right, ordinance 1514, final reading. Passes. All right. And on to section 6F, please.
All right, ordinance number 1515, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the future land use classification to 1.760 acres, more or less, small scale of land on the future land use plan map of the city of Live Oak comprehensive plan pursuant to an application CPA 24-02 by the property owners and or their authorized representatives under the amendment procedures established in section 163.3161 through 163.3215 Florida statutes as amended, and Article 3 of the Land Development Regulations of the City of Live Oak, Florida, providing for a change in the assigned future land use classification from residential moderate density and residential moderate density to commercial. I'm sorry, residential medium density to commercial. On certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and an effective date.
All right, we've heard the final reading. We'll open it up this time for public hearing. Seeing none, pleasure of the council.
Now, let me hear from Mr. Curtis. Is this up under your jurisdiction?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. Is this going to deal with mobile homes or?
No, sir.
Okay.
This is the Westwood Church property.
All right, then we good. I'm ready to vote. I'm ready for one thing.
All right, you've heard the pleasure of the council. Yes, we're on 15.
All right, Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 1515.
All right, we got a motion? And we have a second. All in favor? Opposed, like sign? Motion, sorry, ordinance 1515 passes. All right, moving on to item 6G.
Ordinance number 1516, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the zoning district to 10.863 acres more or less of land on the official zoning atlas of the city of Live Oak, land development regulations pursuant to an application LDR 24-2 by the property owners and/or their authorized representative under the amendment procedures established in Article 3 of the land development regulations, providing for a change in the assigned zoning district from residential single family 2, RSF 2, residential single family 3, RSF 3, and commercial general CG to office institutional OI on certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and effective date.
All right, having heard the final reading, at this time we'll open it up for a public hearing. Make sure you just state your names, please.
Anita Williams, could you do some of us a favor of where these are located, because, so I don't have to come again, so we
Sure.
can kind of know what these are and what's going
If I'm not
on?
mistaken, these are all still dealing with the property at Westwood Church.
Right there at the roundabout, all the property toward the roundabout and toward Walker Street, and some of that's on Liberty Street, that section right in there.
All owned by Westwood Baptist Church, correct?
Well,
Yes. All right, close the public hearing time, and the pleasure of the council.
All motion for ordinance 1516.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance 1516 final reading passes. And we're moving forward to item 6H.
Ordinance number 1517, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending ordinance number 817 as amended, entitled the City of Live Oak Land Development Regulations pursuant to an application LDR 24-03 by the City of Live Oak City Council, adding, amending, renaming, reorganizing, renumbering, and/or striking portions of text within Articles 2, which is definitions, Article 4, zoning regulations and supplemental district regulations, Section S, 4.7 RMHP, residential manufactured home park, 4.8, RMF residential multiple family, 4.19.3, access control, 4.19.8, exclusions from height limitations, 4.19.10, fences, walls, and hedges, 4.19.12, community redevelopment area, CRA district, development standards, and 14, permitting and concurrency management, section 14.11, special permits for essential services, providing for codification, severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and an effective date.
All right, just to clarify, this too is attached and associated with the previous properties as well.
This one is amending the, city staff went and updated and amended some of the provisions of the land development regulations
Okay, so-
for more clarity, like fences, some
Gotcha.
more definition on the zoning regulations that were referenced in it. So it's our staff making the application to update essentially the LDRs.
Gotcha.
Now, and
All right, we got to open it up for public hearing first. Seeing and hearing none, what would be the pleasure of the council?
no, I have a discussion. Mr. Curtis.
Well, we're going to do that after.
Yeah,
We have to have a motion and a second first.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 1517.
All right, we got a motion? And a second. Now we have discussion.
Hi, Mr. Curtis. Is this dealing with mobile home upgrading a year from whatever year we got set now, and how long have we done that before?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the reason why?
Well, this started back in 2013 when Kerry Waldron was the first city manager for the city and had a series of visioning meetings with the council at that time where we got together. We actually went off campus to Dowling Park and did visioning, and then we had workshops here. And between 2013 and 2015, there was a lot of discussion, especially since 2012 was when the first Debbie flood happened. There was a lot of discussion about the substandard housing in the neighborhoods, the decline of housing, the blighted areas, the slum areas, and a lot of it came back to the type of manufactured housing that was being brought in, or mobile homes. And at that time, we had no standards at all for the city. And what we were seeing in the 2013 to 2015 was the result of having no policy from the 60s when manufactured homes started being invented and delivered through the early 2000s. And since we had no policy, it was just anything goes. So what we did at that time is we cut off the year in agricultural and manufactured home parks to 1976 and newer. And then in the residential single-family neighborhoods, we cut off the year at 1994 because HUD had updated the standards after Hurricane Andrew in 1992. And so at that time, 1994 was kind of like the next reset that we could do to provide a cutoff so that we didn't see any more substandard housing, being brought in or things that hadn't been maintained or whatnot. So we did an evaluation like we did back in 2013 and 14 on the HUD manufactured home updates that they do. They passed, this is on congress.gov. It's the Manufactured Housing Improvement Act of 2000. And then there was another one adopted in 2008 regarding dispute resolution between manufacturers, retailers, installers to protect the quality, safety, durability, and affordability of manufactured homes is that one. And the Improvement Act of the year 2000, it says, the bill is ordered will improve and modernize the National Manufactured Housing Construction and Safety Standards Act of 1974, setting up a balanced consensus committee, ensuring timely update of those codes and standards, strengthening installation standards, and dispute resolution. It says the purpose of this legislation is to set up a process to update manufactured housing safety and construction standards on a timely basis. So similar to what we did in 2013 to look at what's going on in the city, when you have these older homes, especially you pick a house from 1994, it's 30 years old, and you're going to pull it up from wherever it's been sitting for 30 years and drag it across county lines or whatever, and ups and downs and all that. Well, that home can't stay together after being, it's been sitting. And so based on what our research, it was a better idea to update it now to the year 2000 and 2008. So 2008 for single family areas would be the new cutoff for homes, so that we don't, so we keep growing and improving, like Mr. Sessions said. If you don't, continue to grow and improve, that you're just like stagnant and things aren't working.
So now taking a mobile home from across town to the other side of town, that would require a newer mobile home? That home
Anybody applying for a permit would have to propose to bring a home in that was built and constructed from that year forward, which is just like what we did 10 years ago. But we, as the code reads right now, in agricultural and manufacturing, you can bring in something from 1976. And then in single-family areas, you can bring in something from 1994. And that's just, that's
But bring
trying to make the
us
city better and safer and have a better housing stock and to get pride in the community. And you can't be looking at these older.
yeah, I built mobile homes before, Homes of Merit over there.
Okay.
Worked for them back in 2000. So now, home already in town, moved from one side of town to the other side of town. I think it might be a 2000, 2008, I don't know. But you saying that house cannot be, you cannot get a permit to move it from one side of town?
No, sir, because that's how you weed out the stuff you don't want. You promote and incentivize the stuff you do want. We deal with that all the time. And like if somebody has a non-conforming, and that's state law, if you have something non-conforming, the comprehensive plan says we're gonna make it so those non-conforming situations go away over time to eliminate them. That's what the state statute says. So when you have something you don't want to see anymore, then rules make those situations get better over time.
So it's non-conforming, it's not non-conforming in one area, but it'd be non-conforming in another area?
Well, it'd be able to be kept wherever it is now, but if you're gonna move it, then it wouldn't be eligible to be relocated anywhere in the city if it didn't meet the zoning requirements for wherever it was going.
May help George if it's there now, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you move it or modify it, then it has to meet the new standards.
Right.
Such as if you have a house that has a deck that's non-conforming and it was proper when it was conforming, when you want to change that deck, you got to meet the new standards.
Right.
Sort of as an illustration.
Yeah, that's good.
Not saying we're going to go move all the 1994 mobile homes out of the city.
No, everything that's where it's at is fine.
Just when you change it or upgrade it or modify it or attempt to move it, you have to meet the new regulations.
Right.
So the cutoff here is 1994 or 2008? What's the cutoff here?
For this proposed amendment, the new cutoff would be the year 2008 in single-family areas and the year 2000 in agricultural areas.
Now, one more thing, because I'm dealing with my constituents. Brand new home, single wide, 14 by 60, brand new. You can't put a single wide on that property, but you can put a double wide. It meets all the setbacks and all of that. The manufacturer said they can meet whatever standards we're saying that we need, square footage and everything else, but yet this constituent's not allowed to put a brand new, single wide, mobile home on that property. How is
That was the visioning of the council in 2013 through 2015 that said that they wanted to either eliminate or severely restrict single-wide homes in the city because of the connotation, I think, the negative connotation that they have. When you have areas with double wides, they look more like regular houses. And so the council instituted a law in the land development regulations that you could only put a single wide on a lot that was so narrow that that's the only thing that could go there. And if you have a lot that is of greater width that could accommodate a double wide, then that's what you have to do.
so
We've
like
been
you're saying?
operating under that for about 10 years, under that policy.
So then the people that can't afford a bigger home, but can afford a smaller home, we're talking about brand new, we're talking about still improving the neighborhood and anything else. But you're telling me in this council that that home is still permissible, being that single wide,
You can get a small double wide that's the same square footage as a single wide.
but you won't get it at the same price.
Yeah.
We're talking affordability, and with the light of this storm, what's done happened, and then folks about to downsize and all of that. All right, I still want to make the place look good. I bring in a brand new single wide. And that person cannot do that, but they have to try to increase the house for as price-wise, in order to meet the standards of a lot that could either hold a single wide or a double wide. That's what you,
That has nothing to do with this ordinance that's before you tonight. That is a matter.
yeah, I know,
that
I'm
was-
kind of bringing some old.
That was a matter that was voted on and put into place as a result of all the workshops and discussions we had about the state of the housing in the city. Right after Tropical Storm Debbie #1 in 2012.
Yeah, way before my time.
So,
All right, then. Okay, I've asked you enough questions so far on that.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, with the, all in favor? Aye.
Nate,
Opposed, like sign?
Nate, all right?
2-1.
All right.
We need to make sure that you get the verbalization, John.
I heard from Mr. Robinson, I didn't hear from Ms. Owens. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Jefferson, you were nay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, moving on to item 6I.
Ordinance number 1518, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida relating to public right-of-ways, making findings and vacating segments of unimproved platted street right-of-ways within the city of Live Oak, Florida, as follows: a portion of Mill Street by plat, 233.80 feet by 40 feet, bounded on the south by block 10 of the Dowling addition to the city of Live Oak, bounded on the north by block 9 of the Dowling addition to the city of Live Oak, bounded on the east by Waterman Avenue, and bounded on the west by Railroad Avenue, and a portion of Park Street by plat, 141.88 to 147.50 feet by 40 feet, bounding on the south by Lot 1, Block 12, the Dowling addition to the city of Live Oak, bounded on the north by Lot 4, Block 11 of the Dowling addition to the city of Live Oak, bounded on the east by the abandoned Seaboard Coastline Railroad right-of-way, and bounded on the west by a line connecting the southwest corner of Lot 4, Block 11 of the Dowling addition to the city of Live Oak, and the northwest corner of Lot 1, Block 12 of the Dowling addition to the city of Live Oak, providing for recitals, conveyance, conflict, and an effective date.
All right, it's time to open it up to public hearing. If I could have Mr. Bradford, Mr. Berman, and Mr. Shalou come to.
I'd like to wait until last, since we brought the topic to the council. That way we can address any concerns that were brought up.
Okay, sure. Any more on the public hearing side? Shalou, you can come on ahead up and then Mr. Bradford and Berman.